The American Revolution actually puts in sharp relief the difference between America's ideals and rhetoric and America's practice. I mean, here we have a nation coming into existence saying to the world that the reason that we are about to embark on a revolution, on a break with Great Britain, is because we believe in human freedom. We hold these truths to be self-evident, and on about liberty and justice and equality. And those same people making this plea to the world are also the holders of human beings in bondage. And so to talk about God-given rights that you are now denying to your fellow human beings sets up a particularly difficult contradiction, the great American contradiction between Americans' ideals and America's action. Now that does have a great impact on some places and some people in this new emerging nation. In places in the North where there is slavery, but the numbers of slaves are relatively small compared to the South, and the economic importance of slavery is less compared to the South. In those places, there are movements to abolish slavery. And in some of these northern states, slavery is abolished immediately by constitution. For example, we know that in 1777, Vermont writes a constitution in which slavery is abolished. And in Massachusetts, the Massachusetts Constitution of 1780 abolishes slavery, but it doesn't really take effect until after a slave sues in the court system of Massachusetts. And then in 1783, the Supreme Court of the state of Massachusetts declares slavery abolished in the state. But either through these immediate constitutional measures or through gradual emancipation processes in places like New Jersey and Pennsylvania and New York, slavery is disappearing from the North. At the same time, in the South, slavery is not disappearing. But what that means is that the revolution and its rhetoric is having an effect in the North, which is making it more difficult for those states to justify slavery. Then at the same time, you get, during the Revolution, the British offering freedom to slaves who will come to the British lines and support the British cause. And they do by the tens of thousands. You know, Thomas Jefferson estimates that in Virginia alone, 30,000 slaves walk off the plantation to find sanctuary with the British. There are also some slaves who are freed because of the fact that the American cause needs supporters, needs soldiers. And some slaves that fight in the American Revolution on the side of the Americans receive their freedom. So that all in all, with the numbers of slaves who run away, the numbers of slaves who are freed because of measures that are being put into place in northern states abolishing the institution, the number of slaves who are freed because they are fighting for the American cause, all in all, we find tens of thousands of slaves who are freed as a result of the American Revolution. In fact, there are more slaves freed in the aftermath of the American Revolution than in any other single event until we come to the Civil War in the mid-19th century.